Hello guys, welcome back. In this session, we are going to look into another type of plot that is called marginal box plot. So first we will understand that why we are using this plot. But prior to that, let's have a look how this plot look like and what we are going to design in this session. So guys, this is the plot which we are going to design in this session. So if you closely look into this figure, then you will find that it is giving us two kind of information. The first information is represented into the scatter plot, and the second kind of information we are having is the box plot. So you must be asking that what kind of information it is giving. So as you already aware that whenever we are using the scatter plot, so it means that we wanted to identify the strength between two variables, and in this example we are using the same problem which we have seen earlier, where we are identifying that if our displacement value is high, then does it affecting the fuel consumption if it is running on highway. So you can clearly see over here in this graph, the fuel consumption is getting reduced if our displacement value is high, and displacement value is depends upon the cylinders, how many cylinders we are having within the car. So guys, this is about the scatter plot. Now you must be asking that what actually this box is representing over here in the x-axis and the y-axis. So guys, then I will tell that it is another kind of plot which we generally use for univariate analysis. Univariate and bivariate analysis, which we are going to discuss in our next part of the course, where we are discussing about the exploratory data analysis. For a time being, you just consider it. If we want to analyze a single variable, then on that time we want to use this box plot. So this will give us the distribution information within that particular variable. So that means how our data is being distributed within the given data set. For this example, here it is representing that our displacement value, how it is being spreaded across, and with the help of box plot we are representing the quartile information. So it is representing the middle line is actually representing interquartile value, which we have already discussed in one of our earlier session. So guys, box plot we haven't discussed yet because it falls into the distribution category which is in our list, and that is the fourth category which we are going to discuss in our upcoming session. So that means this graph is giving us two kind of information. The first one is the correlation information, another one is the distribution information. So guys, you are seeing it over here. We are having three kind of a graph over here. The first one is representing the relationship between two variable, and the second one is representing the univariate analysis of the x-axis, which is displacement over here, and the univariate analysis of the y-axis, that is the highway, and it is representing the data distribution. So that means we need to divide the big figure into three sub areas with the help of subplot, and this is going to be really very interesting. So guys, enough of discussion now. Let's move to the Jupyter notebook and write the code for this particular data visualization plot. So guys, we are going to follow the same approach, however we are following through the earlier session, but this time in the third step we have introduced something called prepared drawing space for plotting. So what it is doing, if you closely look into this diagram, then you will find that it contains three graphs, or say three plot. I need to set up my figure like it should divide the space into three areas. In the first area we are representing the scatter plot, at x-axis we are representing the box plot for x-axis, and at y-axis we are representing the box plot for y-axis. So to make it ready, we need to prepare the drawing space. So let's do it. But prior to that, I will tell you the same point. Step 1 is a repeated one, so I copy pasted, and step 2 is the same data. So I have taken the same URL to grab the data for the data frame. Now proceeding further to the step 3, select this cell, press B, and now we will get the cell to write the code. So first I will create a figure object, and over here I will tell that I'm going to create a figure with the help of this method, and here I will specify that what size I want to keep for this particular figure. It is going to be the same 16,10, and DPI is going to be the same. So you will find that this is also the repeated information, so you can use it directly. Now another thing, I want to divide the diagram. If you have seen that our plot is having three plots, so to make the space for those three plots I need to divide my figure. So how I can do that? So there is a method within the matplotlib which will help us to divide our figure, that is called grid spec. So we should write grid spec over here, and we will tell that I want 4 by 4 comma h space equal to 0.5, w space equal to 0.2. So with the help of this, we can divide our figure into three regions. Now we have drawn the grid spec. Now next we need to assign each of the plot in the respective area. So for that, let's define the axis now. So first I am going to define the main axis, and here I am going to add figure in this object dot. There is a method called add subplot, and now I am telling that which region is going to be the main region. So here I am telling that grid, and I need to specify like this -1 comma colon -1. So this will define the main region, that is our this part of the plot. Now let's define the right and the bottom. So let's write it over here. Axis I am going to create for right, and again figure object add subplot. You should remember this is the method which we use to add the subplot, and over here we need to specify grid, and here to access the right portion you need to slice it like this way. So you need to specify -1, and here for x tick level I am telling that I don't want any level, so I will pass the blank array. So here you need to specify the blank array. Same is the case for y level. I am going to tell that I don't want any levels for y level for this particular graph. So here you should specify the blank array. Now we have created the right part of the plot, that is this part. Now let's define the bottom part. So to define the bottom part, we are going to use ax bottom, and here I need to specify figure, again add underscore subplot, and this time the slicing which we are going to specify over here, I can access the bottom part -1 comma 0 colon -1. So this will access the bottom part, and again I am going to copy and paste this line of code because I want it should be blank. So no x tick will be represented and y tick should be represented. So this is about the configuration for each of the area. Now I just sketched out our figure and told that my figure is divided into three parts: the main part, right part, and the bottom part. Now let's proceed further. In the next step, we are going to specify that in each of the part what kind of plot we want to draw. So let's proceed further. At step 4, select the cell, press B, and here I am going to specify in my main I am going to draw the scatter plot, and over here I will tell that in the x-axis I want displacement, and in the y-axis I am going to keep highway, and the configuration, another configuration which I want to keep for S, that is df dot city multiplied by 5. This parameter S basically defines the size of the marker. Now the next parameter which we need to define is the color sequence, that is represented as C. So let's write C over here, and the unique sequence we will get it from the variable, and the variable is manufacturer. So we are having within data frame we are having a variable called manufacturer, and I'm going to use as type, and within that I need to specify category dot cat codes. So this will give us the unique sequence as per the car categories by manufacturer. Now there is another parameter which we need to specify is the alpha. So here I am going to tell that 0.9, and now we need to specify the data, from where the data will come. So it is going to be our data frame which we have created over here. Now the next we need to specify the color map, C map. I am going to tell that it is going to be the set 1. Next we need to define the edge color, and that is again I am going to use black. And at last line width we need to specify what would be the line width. I will tell that 0.5. So now we have defined the specification for the scatter plot with the help of these parameters. So these parameters again I will tell that you will get this information from the documentation of matplotlib, which you will get it from here. So this is the same plot we are using, and you will see that all the parameter and what actually this parameter is representing, you will get the information from over here. So you can visit it once. Okay, so now let's proceed further. Next I am going to draw the box plot. So this time I am going to use the cborn, and cborn is having a method which help us to draw the box plot, and this box plot I am going to discuss in the distribution section when we discuss about the distribution data visualization. Then on that time I will discuss in more depth, but for a time being you just remember that to draw the box plot we are going to use cborn library, and within that we are going to use this method, boxplot method. So here we need to specify data frame, and I want to take this variable that is displacement, and where I want to draw it, I need to tell that bottom. So here axis I need to specify, which we have already created, axis bottom, and what kind of orientation I want to keep. I need to specify that I want it horizontal. So for horizontal you need to specify H. Next, let's create another box plot for our highway variable, and here we need to specify data frame dot sway comma axis, and here this time I need to specify it right, and orientation we need to keep it vertical. For that I am going to use V. So this is it for the drawing plot. Now let's decorate with the right level. I don't want any level for the bottom, so I will tell that axis bottom dot set x level equal to blank. Same is the case with right dot set y level equal to blank. Now for main I'm going to specify the title, so I will tell that axis main dot set title equal to, I will specify a scatter plot with box plot. That's it. And now cut this from here and paste it over here. So this step I have kept it so that you should aware that why I am performing this step. It is for decoration, but we will run it together. So now we have created all the steps, so let's run it. So we will run it the first step first, then the second step. We got the data. Now let's draw the figure, and this is what I wanted to show you. Whenever you are creating multi-plot data visualization, then on that time we are using the grid spec, and with the help of grid spec we are getting such kind of a design. So that means it has divided our figure into three parts. In the first part we have already discussed that here we will put the scatter plot, here we will put the x-axis box plot, and here we will put the y-axis box plot. Now let's run it together. So for that I am going to grab all these code and put it over here so that we will get the complete output. So now let's run it together, shift enter, and then you will find that with the help of all these steps we are able to draw this beautiful plot, and this is what I wanted to demonstrate you in this session. So guys, in the next session what we are going to do, we are going to learn about heat map and parallelogram, which we have already seen in one of my session, but we haven't discussed much. So this time we are going to draw it, and we will discuss about the significance of parallelogram, that is also called as heat map. So on this note I am stopping over here. See you in the next session. Till then, bye bye, take care.